Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're making gumbo style greens. You're gonna need a cup of oil, vegetable oil. You're gonna need some flour, a cup of flour. We're gonna use a variety of seasonings. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Holy Trinity, that's onions, bell peppers, and celery. Of course, our collard greens. We have some broth going in the back. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we have our sausage and our smoked turkey. We're also going to add some shrimp later on. All right, let's look at all the ingredients again. Our meats, our seasonings, our veggies, and our broth. All right, now for the roux. We're gonna take our 1 cup of oil into a preheated pot. Make sure you get all your oil out. This is a very important step. Do not rush your roux. Don't walk away from your roux. You have to stay here until you get the color that you want. You walk away, you're gonna burn it, and you're going to have to start over again. Do not walk away from your roux. Get your oil heated up. I have it on medium-high heat. We're gonna put a little bit of the flour in to get it started. Mix it in. Break up your lumps and whatnot. Okay. Excuse my ashy arm. I washed my hands a lot during this video. Okay, add the rest of your flour in. And you're gonna stir that around, get it all incorporated into the oil, break up your little lumps and whatever's. Be prepared to take a good 20 minutes or so to get this roux to the color that you want. You want it kind of like a peanut brown. You don't need to do it super dark like you would do for a regular gumbo, but definitely we want some color on it. So this takes a few minutes. We're gonna speed it up here in a few seconds because I don't want you to be here all day. Make sure you're scraping the bottom. Get the things up so it doesn't stick. We're gonna speed that up for you. Like I said, this took about 20 minutes to get to the color I wanted. Make sure you're scraping the bottom to get all your bits. And you see how the color is changing. All right, now you see we got our color, a nice nutty color. It smells delicious already and there's no seasonings in it. All right, now we're gonna add our Holy Trinity. That is onions, bell peppers, and celery. You can do this one at a time, but we're doing it all together. When I tell you this smells so good, anytime I smell onions, bell peppers, and celery, it reminds me of the holidays. So this is perfect for your Christmas or New Year's dinner. Just want to give you a shot inside so you can see how we're incorporating it. You're gonna cook this down for about 2 to 5 minutes. It's not a long process right here because you just want to kind of sweat those onions down and everything. Again, don't walk away from it. You got to keep it moving because you don't want to scorch it. Okay. Look, smell it, smell it, smell it. Okay. Now, in our broth, I use the Better Than Bouillon ham base. In that broth, I use 10 cups of water with my Better Than Bouillon. And I also had some leftover vegetable broth, so I did throw that in there as well. But that ham Better Than Bouillon set it off, y'all. For real, for real. All right, so we're gonna let that simmer for a second. We're gonna go ahead and start incorporating our broth in. Nope, I take that back. We're gonna add our sausage first. This is not a rushed recipe. You definitely have to take some time. Make sure you have time to... I'm sitting up here sniffing it, y'all. That's so crazy. Make sure you have time to dedicate to making this recipe, because it's definitely a little bit of a process, but it's so worth it. All right, let's add our sausage in. This is smoked sausage. You can use andouille sausage or whatever sausage you want to use, but I had smoked sausage, so that's what we're using. We're gonna go ahead and get that cooked down a little bit. And basically we're just trying to pull out the fats from the sausage and sweat it down a little bit. It's gonna cook all the way through because it's gonna simmer for an hour and some change. See how it looks? And it's chunky. I know it looks chunky. Trust the process. If you have arthritis, yeah, it's a lot. But don't worry, I'm okay, I promise. It was worth it. When I tell you this smells so good. All right, so we're adding some garlic powder. I was out of minced garlic and garlic cloves, so we're using garlic powder, some onion powder. There it is, garlic, onion powder. Now you flavor your gumbo the way you want to flavor your gumbo. That's totally up to you. We're using some oregano. Shaking it was very dumb, so we're gonna pour some in the cap. I use a little bit of Slap Your Mama Hot, not too much because of the people in my family that don't like a whole lot of spice. Go ahead and stir that in. We're gonna add more seasonings later on, but I didn't want to add too much too fast. Because you don't want this to be over salted or messing up. I use some gumbo fili or file, however you want to pronounce it, but this is what I use in my regular gumbo, so I put it in this gumbo greens. And if you didn't know, I'm a smell person more than a taste person, so when I smell like the flavors coming out, I can tell I'm on the right track. That was some seasoning salt. And it was, oh, my house smelled so amazing when I was making this. Excuse my dog snoring in the background. That's awesome. Alright, let's get a little bit of this broth. You want your broth to already be hot, so you don't have to wait for it to get hot when you're pouring it in. So go ahead and pour some of it in, stir it around so it can take some of the thickness out of the flour. TJ. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. This was so delicious. Alright, let's pour the rest of our broth in. Sorry for the interruption. Alright, so we're gonna pour the rest of our broth in and get that simmering. We're still on medium-high heat. We're not doing super high heat, because again, we're not trying to scorch this. Get that all stirred in real good. The smell of it was fantastic, and we have not even put everything in yet, and it smells so good already. You see the beautiful colors of the vegetables and the sausage. Baby, this is the bomb.com. Okay, shout out to Smoking and Grilling with AB for this inspiration. It is fire. His link will be in the description box of this video. Check him out. If you haven't heard of him before, you must have been under a rock. Alright, we added our smoked turkey leg. I'm making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pot. Yep, going to get a smell. Get the smell. Yes. Fantastic. Yes, indeed. Let's add a couple of bay leaves. Get that stirred in there real good. Alright, let's add our greens now. This was 2 bushels of greens that I cut up and washed very thoroughly. I'm using a pretty big stock pot, mainly because I didn't want it to overflow my smaller pots. This way I can get all the greens in at once and not have to wait till it cooks down a little bit. But they do cook down, of course. Go ahead and push those around. They're gonna start sinking to the bottom of your broth, of course. Just trying to push it past the turkey leg that's in there. Yep, smell it. It smells delicious, y'all. I promise you, if you make these greens, you will never want to make regular greens again. I am totally spoiled already. This will be a fan favorite. Trust me when I tell you. Alright, so we're gonna put our lid on, and then we're going to let this simmer for up to an hour and a half. Alright, now we've been simmering for close to the hour and a half. We're gonna add our shrimp for those last few minutes. These shrimp were deveined, peeled, and detailed, so you don't have to do a lot of work. And they don't take long to cook, so just go and stir it in. Make sure you're touching the bottom so you're making sure nothing is getting scorched down there. Man, I wish y'all could smell it. It smells so good, y'all. I promise. Let that simmer a little longer. Now we're gonna take our turkey leg out and get this meat off the bone. And as you can see, we're shaking it and it was coming right off. I just took a fork and scraped the rest of it off. I left my bone in at the end because that bone has flavor, so definitely keep that in there for that extra bone broth that you need. Just an added layer of flavor. If you can get your butcher to cut your smoked turkey up, that'll even help more. Or you can use turkey tails. Smoked turkey tails would have been fire in this. It was so hard not to taste this the whole time that I was making it, but it was worth the wait, trust me. At first I was gonna take the bone out, but as you see, I put it back. All right. Get all your good greens off of there. I was letting the family taste it though, and they let me know I needed a little bit more salt. So we did add a little bit more seasoned salt in all of our seasonings. I recommend you add a little bit at a time until it's to your flavoring, and break up your turkey. And because the sausage and turkey and shrimp have their own sodium, I didn't want to add too much too fast. But look at it, y'all. Look, oh, it just looks so good. Yum. You see that shrimp? Oh, it cooks to perfection. Yes, Lord. It's Stay tuned for the mukbang, y'all. Look at this final plate. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.